Good afternoon, everyone. One of the hardest parts of my days are the 20 minutes that follow every meal that I have. Maybe not all of you know that eating disorders do not only come in those two declinations that we are all familiar with, which are anorexia nervosa and bulimia. Food can actually be tricky for those of us who have, let's just call it, a whimsical mind. I don't eat many things, and the reason why I don't eat many things is because I developed in this last years new symptoms to my main disorder, and these symptoms include also an overwhelming fear of anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis is the worst possible reaction that you can have when you ingest, touch, or inhale something you are allergic to. Just to make things clear, I've been tested for allergies something like 4 times. And all that showed up in my tests was that I was barely, just very slightly allergic to pollens and dust. These two are the most common allergies, and they are so widely spread that allergologists usually don't really give a crap about the fact that you're allergic to either pollen or dust. It was different to me because when I first diagnosed with this, since I've always been so sure that I wasn't allergic to anything, I started panicking about it because I thought that if I had developed these new allergies to dust and pollen, that I could easily develop also allergies to basically anything else in the world. And this obviously affected my eating habits. So I'm scared of food. I used to eat so much, and I used to eat a lot. Lots of different foods. I was always eager to try new things. I was what you could call a good eater. I mean, I was always enjoying food to the point that I was very close to the definition of a glutton. And that changed. So now I'm 34 and I'm scared of eating. I always eat the same things. You can count in basically maybe 4 hands the foods that I ingest every day. But even if I always ingest the same food, that doesn't imply that I reckon those foods as safe for me. So every time that I eat something, and this happens after breakfast, after lunch, in the afternoon, because I have like a snack every afternoon, and after dinner, I spend 20 minutes, sometimes 30, just waiting for the worst to happen. When this happens, when I'm at work, where I am now, I basically lock myself in this corner. This is a remote corner of my shop. Nobody can see me here from the windows. And I just sit here where I am now. I smoke my cigarette, my after lunch cigarette, because for some reason, even though I'm scared of everything in the world, I am not scared of smoking. Like, for some reason, I don't think I might ever develop an allergy to cigarettes, which is incredibly idiotic if you ask me. But smoking is incredibly idiotic, and your mind will always find reasons and justifications for you to keep smoking. So every time I have lunch here at the shop, I lock myself up in this little corner and I wait. Sometimes I just smoke my cigarette, I think of stuff, I maybe talk to a friend over the phone, and those 20 minutes go by like I don't have one care in the world. But some other times, like today, I start feeling weird things happening to my body and I start to panic. Today is not that bad, but it's not even that good. What I feel after eating a dangerous meal is usually something going on in my throat. I feel like my throat is tightening and my lymph nodes are swelling up, and I feel like I cannot breathe. Sometimes when I allow these thoughts to run wild, I might actually start having cold sweats and a shaky feeling in my body. My hands and feet start to buzz. But then 20 minutes go by, even though I perfectly know that sometimes hours are required for you to develop an allergic reaction to a food. These 20 minutes pass by I stand up, I get up, I go back to work, and the moment I start working again, everything just vanishes. What I really want to say in this confession here today is that every time this happens, every time I feel scared, every time I get a panic attack after eating something, every time I sulk in a corner and I think of my impending death, I get incredibly angry at myself because one more time I'm allowing myself to succumb to this kind of thoughts that are not rational. They are based on pure fear. So 20 minutes have passed because it took me a while to start recording this. And my lunch should be now safe in my stomach, in my belly, even though my throat still feels a little tight. So, one deep breath and back to work.